What is up,
Welcome.
guys? Welcome back to the channel. Getting you on the grind and improving your mind every single video, guys. Make sure you smash the like button
Smash it.
and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. So let's get into today's topic. We're going to play this video for you guys, and so you guys can get an understanding of what we're talking about. And we're going to go over it and talk about it. So let's get into this.
Yeah, so as always, I always have this in the description below. That way you guys can look at it on your own time. But we have it here. I'm pulling it up right now so we can all watch it together. This is initially a TikTok, but I got it from Twitter. And let's just watch the full video. It's only a minute long. Let's listen to what they both have to say, and let's give our thoughts on the whole situation happening here. So let's go.
You're okay going to sleep at night
Yes.
knowing that you have evicted a family and put them out at risk of homelessness onto the street. You're okay
Yes.
with that?
Yes.
I think there should be empathy for people struggling.
All right. I'll serve a very empathetic eviction notice.
I think homelessness shouldn't exist. I think people should not be homeless.
Sure, and people shouldn't be sick either. And isn't it a shame that people? That's the
Those
world.
are not any. That is not comparable in
It
any
is.
way.
It is.
Absolutely not.
It's the world we live in.
Yeah, of course, people. That's just life. But homelessness is not life. Homelessness is a societal problem. Homelessness is something that we created.
But the thing is, everything you're saying boils down to, I want the government to help me. The government should solve the problems. That's not the real world.
Do you have the answers to everything in the world?
No, but I have the answer to this. It's called a free market. What irritates me is when tenants tell me they can't pay rent because their mom just died. They would never call their energy provider and say, I can't pay my energy bill because my mom died. They would never call Sainsbury's and go in and say, my mom died, can I have free food? Why do they come to me? They prey and leech and use emotional manipulation on struggling landlords with stories of why they can't pay the rent, and it's wrong.
So you're telling me that tenants are the ones who are preying and leeching on
Correct.
landlords?
Correct.
Wow.
The guy does make a good point, though.
They honestly,
they both do. I mean, I get
they
it.
both do. They both do. But this is the problem. This is the problem. Their mindsets are not like they're not in the right they're not in the right standing. Both of their mindsets, they're not correct. They're not how it should be, but it's just how it is, right? People who are clients or whatever, the people who are tenants, they have to struggle with how fucked up the economy is and the
Which
government
it is.
and at the same time, so do landlords have to deal with that as well. And not only do they have to deal with it in a property management type of way, but they also have to deal with it dealing with the tenants themselves, because if the tenant is going through some sort of struggle and they cannot pay the rent, then that the landlord is not getting the income that they need from the property that they are owning, right? And so it's everything boils down to everyone when it comes to this stuff, everyone wants to be a victim. The guy feels like he's a victim because he deals with tenants who leech off him and whatever, and then tenants want to be the victim because certain struggles happen and they don't want to, they're dealing with struggles and they're trying to get them, either they're trying to get themselves out or they are becoming victimized and they don't actually do anything to get themselves out, and so they pretty much get evicted by their landlords, and they are like, why you do that, why would you do this to me, blah blah blah. It's all based on victim mentality, what it really boils down to for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, homelessness really is a big problem, especially in like the city. I mean, you can go to New York City right now, and you're gonna find a bunch of homeless people on the subways and in the on the streets and begging for money and all that stuff. And I'm sure California is a lot worse.
Yeah.
So basically, like, I really encourage everyone to really, while they can, especially if you have a good support system, try to get your life on track, because you never know when things are going to go down and you're going to lose. You could lose everything. You never know. Life is unpredictable, as we know. We should know. You should know. If you have not learned that harsh life lesson, it will hit you eventually, and you need to be basically hustling out here. Unless you're on a physical disability where you can't work, you literally cannot do anything, or maybe you just drug yourself up to hell, which which is happening out there. I'm sorry to say,
Yeah.
but that's a whole mental problem. That's a whole other thing. I cannot prescribe anything for that, but it's really like a lot of people don't have the self confidence and the self motivation to get themselves out of a rut, and then they want to play victim to anybody who can't really do much about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, both parties have their rights and wrongs about it, but really,
Exactly, because the homelessness problem is a problem, But there's so many different parts to that not even I had really noticed until really thinking about it, because yeah, there's so like what do you call it? These companies are building all these different skyscrapers that are apartment buildings or whatever they are, the complexes that you could townhomes, all these different things, right? They are building and manufacturing all these places where people can live, but a lot of them stay dormant, not only because that they are so new that they're super expensive, and so it's a barrier of entry, but a lot of these owners and these people who own these things, sometimes they'll even uh try to stop people from trying to even apply to get in the first place. They might even try to it's mostly because of like credit scores and stuff like that. They will really be harsh on people who have a specific amount of credit or have a certain number of credit score. Like if you have 600 or below, you're never going to get anything, especially in places that are like around where we are. Even, maybe even California, probably the same,
You ain't gonna get that
because
Nissan Altima.
you're not gonna get anything. And it sucks because it sucks for the tenants and those types of people, because they need a place to live, right? And there's just so much out there, but they don't see that it's on the opposite side. It's a business. They were able to get this money either through a bank loan, or just they are out of pocket money that they have because they want to start up a business, a real estate business. And these people put out money to make these homes, make these places for people to stay, and they expect the people that they bring into their pretty much their product, like that's their product, right? They pretty much expect those people that they bring in to give them the money, that way that they can pay off what they had created, and so on and so forth. And so when a tenant does not pay them, then they're losing money, and pretty much what happens is that property that they own, there's a possibility that somehow they can possibly lose they can even possibly lose that property. So you losing your home that you're renting, right, could in turn make him or that landlord lose that property, and so you're going to lose something regardless. Like you lost regardless, because you can't pay the rent anyway. And now that because he has someone that's in there that can't pay rent, now he can't keep up the expenses of having this property, and so now he has to they either will take it away from him, or he has to get rid of it in some sort of way, because that you can't do anything. And so it's a back and forth. That's why things like this are so interesting, because people want to pick a side and be like, "Oh, I'm with her because I understand. I feel that. I understand. I'm emotionally connected to how she's feeling." And then other people are like, "Well, I can understand it from a business perspective what the guy's talking about, because understanding it in different types of other types of businesses, that's how it works that way, and it's not, how they're explaining it is not okay. Like you shouldn't be able to do all those things." The mindset is of it all really boils down to everyone wants to play a victim to the other side, and that's just not how it should be. But everything needs to be realistic. Things just have to be realistic. Okay, people struggle but at the same time, people are running a business, and they can't just afford to not let money come in. It's just how it is. It's just that simple. But at the same time, it's everyone just gets emotionally attached to things. People get emotionally strung up on certain things because it might hit them in a specific way. Oh, someone could be like, "Oh, I know someone who had to get evicted, and I understand their pain, and I feel bad for them, and blah blah blah." But then other people are gonna be like, "Yeah, no, I own like 4 properties. I'm 100% behind this guy. Who cares? Who cares what the other people think? Who cares what these tenants think? If they're not gonna pay me, they need to get out." Like, it's just how that is. But at the same time, everyone is going to play victim regardless if they are the tenant or if they're the landlord. They're going to both play the victim because someone is not doing something that they should be. And if everyone did the things that they should be doing, then there wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah,
in the first
people
place.
really need to start living in reality, and the reality is you need to get your stuff together like ASAP. You
Yeah.
really need to stop be hustling out here and try not to play victim. You need to navigate the world as it is, not as we'd like it to be. A
Yeah.
lot of you guys do not understand what you are capable of, and you like to rely on the government, which is these days getting really hard to do that. I would not recommend. I
Yeah.
mean, the economy is so destroyed right now. Everybody's trying to get their piece out for themselves. If you guys do have a good support system, I would advise you to utilize it and treat the good people in your life very well, because
Please.
they will be the real ones that might be helping you when you're in a rut. And always try to inflict good karma, so then good karma will come back to you.
Yeah,
There's
and
always that.
don't let yourself once you feel you're in the rut, don't let yourself fall deeper into it. You need to do everything you can to come out. Like you got to think of it as like you're being choked, right? If you are being choked out by somebody, your body instinct is to escape at all costs, right? That is what you want to do. You don't want to suffocate and die. You want to escape. You want to become free. So what you must do is not let yourself get choked. You must escape. You must get out of that rut somehow, some way. You can't let your emotions drag you down. You have to forget all that and do everything in your power to figure out a solution to the problem that you have. There are, depending, I don't really know what the solutions based on the specific backgrounds and the specific context, right? There could be many different solutions, but if you have a problem, you must find the solution
Yeah,
at
guys.
all costs.
I would absolutely highly encourage you guys to make good decisions and look over what you're doing with your life and make sure you're making the best possible decisions and take accountability for what you are doing, and try not to rely on big daddy government to save you all the time, because a lot of the times that you think that someone's going to come save you, they do not, and things backfire because plans can change at any moment. You have to be prepared for the worst and also be prepared for the best. A lot of you guys are not ready for that. And just try to make the best choices within your means, and try to be very aware of the situation and what's going on in the world, to where you can make positive decisions that will impact your life in a great way. So definitely, we want to hear your thoughts. Let us know what you guys think about this topic in the comment section below. And as I said before, like the video, help us out, and subscribe to our channel. And with that said, we're going to see you guys in the next video.